St. Louis was the ones that had the curve, and that's why they were able to manage that very well, because they were very smart about it. Let's have this conversation. Very smart. I'm gonna mute that. I can see comments right there. All right. So, what to do, y'all? I had to come on and have this conversation directly because I feel like people read my comments and try to interpret what I'm saying and they misinterpret it. So, like, we know there's no emotion in text unless somebody is clearly. There's no emotion in text unless somebody clearly is saying something aggressive or whatever. But people can misinterpret text and misread something all the time. So let me say this clear. So I'm having a conversation on my post about. Let me add. How did I get it? Lou. Where's the homie Lou at? Lou and Cliff. My brother-in-law Cliff and Lou. My partner Lou Draws. He was in my comments talking about this. So I'm talking about policing the police after, and I've been saying this for years. We need to police our own communities first. We need to police ourselves. But policing the police will actually help in this sense. So I'm kind of like Martin, but I be ready for all the action and all the smoke like Malcolm. Okay? So I think policing the police, and like I said in my post, if every black person that legally can possess a firearm goes and gets a firearm, those that can't right now, for whatever reason, work on getting their rights back to possess a firearm, go ahead and do that. If there's a situation, like the situation with the gentleman in Minneapolis that just got murdered by the police, from that police officer kneeling on his neck, out of a flex, it was that police officer that you see kneeling, the Asian police officer standing there, and then two other police officers that were holding him behind the vehicle, holding his legs and on his midsection area. So there's 4 police officers involved in the situation. There was like 5 people around that situation asking for them to do a safety check to see how this man is doing, to get off of him, but they want to get off him. So it's like, see how he is doing, check on him. He's not moving, he's not fighting, check his pulse to make sure he's okay. The Asian cop being an asshole, being a punk, and the dude on the police officer on his neck, being a bitch, was leaning on his neck, and the look on his face and his body language was so fucking smug. I told them, because I said that if all those people would have pulled guns, not drawn their guns, but pulled their guns and then demanded the safety check. So if you simply brandish your firearm and then go ahead and tell in a state where it's legal, or if you're legally carrying, go ahead and pull your gun out because you're policing the police, similar to what the Black Panthers used to do. You tell them, y'all are not going to murder this man because that is our neighbor, our brother, our fellow citizen. Go ahead and perform a safety check. Get off of his fucking neck with your knee, which is constricting his airway, and he's telling you he can't breathe. Get off of him, perform a safety check. We're going to make sure he's okay, and he gets to the hospital, sees his days in court, goes to jail, goes through the process, gets out. Hopefully we can get him into rehab and give him some help so he can become a valuable member of society once again and get off of this path that he's on for whatever reason. That's a simple conversation, a simple request, and with the gun at your side, to a police officer who we all know are human beings as well, who are just trying to go home at the end of the day to their family, like we're trying to go home to our fucking families as well. The whole situation a little bit different. You can't tell me different. Now, my brother-in-law Cliff Pringle, my partner Lou, in the comments, they're telling me, if you pull a gun on a police officer, you're gonna die. And I responded, they're basically saying that. And I'm saying to them, I get your response out of fear of dying. Now, Lou, out of human beings, and it's ego for us. We're men. So if somebody tells you you're scared of something, you're automatically going to say, well, I'm not scared of that. No, not like that, brother. But just simply, like I said, this is why I went live so you can hear me say it. If I'm saying to you, listen, I think the way to stop police officers from coming into our neighborhoods and killing people for no reason, beating people up for no reason. He's not doing nothing. You got the situation under control. You don't have to do all that extra stuff. Stop resisting. I've had this happen to me. I've been in police custody and them doing extra shit, telling me not to resist, and I'm like, I'm not fucking moving. The shit you're doing is causing me to fucking move. So I'm not fucking doing this. You're doing it, bitch. So, out of that experience and seeing this happen multiple times, unfortunately, on fucking video, you're expressing fear of dying from pulling out a gun to show a police officer we're serious about protecting our own community from terrorists coming in here doing shit, which y'all are trying to do, because the police are trying to operate in fear. They're trying to control people with fear. And that's what they was doing. As soon as that dude stepped into the street and was like, look, he's pointing. He was just pointing. Look, you can see he's not moving. The police officer that was on his neck grabbed his fucking mace. And they were like, oh my God, he got mace. The look on his face was like, yeah, these motherfuckers is scared. Because I pulled out my mace. I can't wait to pull out my fucking gun. So your fear of dying is causing you to say, I don't think that's a good idea to pull out guns on police officers. You said Luke said I would have went and pushed them off of them. There's 4 police officers over there. They wasn't going to allow you to go and push them off of them. So if you stand back at a safe distance and say, listen, we need y'all to get off of this man, perform a safety check, check his vitals, make sure he's okay, turn him on his side so he can breathe, and just treat this man with some respect because he's a human fucking being. When the ambulance comes, they can go ahead and put him on, when the EMTs come, they can put him on the fucking gurney or the fucking whatever. They'll put him on the bed and we'll get him in the truck. They'll get him there and all this shit will happen. Their fear, those 4 police officers, their fear, their human response would have been like, whoa, we got to change the situation, because they're going to try to control it with fear. They're going to start yelling. They're going to start saying shit. They will pull out their guns. But imagine 4 other citizens that are on the same hype. Like, listen, y'all not going to come in here and just terrorize the community. The person did wrong. Y'all caught him. Go ahead and treat him like a human being, and let's go through the process of the law, and let's have his blind justice go ahead and judge him by his, jury of his peers, whatever the fuck happened, and we'll go through that process. But you're not going to come and just murder somebody in the middle of the fucking street, and we're supposed to just watch this shit, because now the trauma that's in these people's minds, like, I just seen this man get murdered in front of me, and he wasn't even doing nothing, he wasn't even resisting. Now it's innately putting fear in you to be like, well, I don't want to do nothing when the police is around. I don't want to do nothing to make the police officer upset. And the way that it sounds in my mind and in my ears and in my head, the way that we sound when we start talking like that and acting like that. Well, I don't want to do nothing to upset the police officers now. I don't want to do nothing to make them mad and make them scared of me now. I don't want to have them do nothing to me now. What do I sound like? I sound like a character from fucking Roots, right? I sound like a fucking slave with slave mentality, right? Because those people were scared of their masters. So they didn't want to revolt or do nothing, because if they did, they was going to get whipped, beat, or hung. And they did this in front of people. They would attack the strongest one or who they deemed the smartest one, because they didn't give us the luxury of saying that we were smart. So they would take the strongest one, the one that had the most heart, gumption, the biggest muscles, break them down in front of everybody and be like, if I can beat this motherfucker's ass, the fuck you think I can do to you? So if I beat him up, then all of y'all gonna get in line, because now I got them acting like a bitch. That's trying to control people with fear. You can't fucking control me like that, because as far as I'm concerned, you can't beat me up. And it's just the confidence in me. So my thing is simply saying, if we police the police, these situations will change. Situations will change. The outcome will be different. And like I said to Lou and the Cliff, imagine your son or your daughter being in that situation. Well, no, I didn't. So imagine, I'm saying this, imagine your son or your daughter being in that situation, and you're coming home to this, or you're going to meet them out at the party they're at, or whatever the case, at the mall or something like that, wherever it is, it's happening, and you're going to that situation because you were going to pick them up. Let's say you were going to pick them up and it's happening with the police. Now, you see this, your son is on the ground, police said he was shoplifting, he tried to run. They caught him, they got him in handcuffs, and he's on the ground, he was resisting. So you're like, okay, cool, you got him, go ahead and just pick him up, put him in the car. The police officer's like, get the fuck back. Get the fuck back. You don't tell me what to do when he got his knee on your son's neck. The fuck are you gonna do? Now, Lou, Cliff, anybody out there, if you're just going to sit there and let your son die from somebody's knee being on his neck, and then you're just going to not do anything about it, complain, get depressed, turn to an alcoholic or a drug addict. I've seen this happen to people, unfortunately, because they feel guilty. So now they fuck their own life up. Like I said to Cliff, If you're with me, we're out for a jog, we're in a car, we're at a party, we're at a park, and the police feel like they have to detain me for some reason, and they start to overdo it. If I'm cooperating, or if I'm being an asshole at first and not cooperating, but then eventually I'm cooperating, like, all right, fuck it, y'all got me, and they're like, stop resisting, I'm not moving, but the way you're fucking trying to have me handcuffed and lift my arms, that's fucking hurting my shoulder, so stop doing that shit. And they're like, oh, you think you smart, so I'm gonna, right, and you allow them to do that to me, and you don't do shit, and then they kill me, you cannot come to my fucking funeral. And if I don't die, I will never want you around me again, because you don't have my fucking back. Listen, me, not speaking for nobody, I'm speaking for me. This black man, I don't give a fuck. If we was gangsters and it's people from another gang, you better fucking be ready to fight with me. I'm not in the fucking gang, never have been. I don't support the idea of gangs. If I'm on a block and it's some people that's from a different block, a different neighborhood, trying to come up and run up and do some shit, if you don't rock with me, you can't fucking hang out with me. If we're on a fucking basketball team together, a football team together, and we get into a team fight and you don't have my back, I ain't passing you the ball. Like, I don't want you on the team with me no more. Like, because you don't got my back. Now, if I'm just being an asshole out here and being a bully and starting shit and trying to, agitate people and do shit, then you get what you deserve. You put the energy out, it comes back to you. Everybody know me, I ain't that type of person. So, knowing who I am, the type of person that I am, if I'm in a situation where the police have been called on me for some bullshit, like the lady in Central Park trying to call the police to try to weaponize the police and get that black man killed because that was her intention. Oh, you filming me and trying to tell me what to do? I should put a leash on my dog? Well, I'm gonna call the police and get your ass killed. Nigger. That's what she was feeling. So if you allow me to go out in a situation like that and you just gonna be like, man, Johnny, y'all should blah, 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 had his back. Johnny, man, ooh. Nah, bro, you can't come to my funeral because you don't really support me. You don't really have my back. That's how I feel. Everybody else can feel different, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not knocking you. Don't try to knock me for how I feel. If you don't have my back, though, don't try to act like you had my back after the situation. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. And as far as the fear of dying, that's a real thing. Everybody is scared to die. I'm scared to die, but I'm scared to die before I reach my potential and reach my destiny and put my whole message out there. I'm not scared to die for shit that I believe in and stuff that I need to stand up for. So if it's something that happens with somebody in my family and I have family that were fucking police officers that I know that's the only way. Not the only way. That's one of the ways that I know is great police officers out there. Because I have family that were police officers and retired as police officers. So I know it's good police officers that do good work out there. I know good police officers. I've met them, many of them. But I also met and have encountered bad police officers. And it just makes sense, but the narrative had to be said for people to get it. When good police officers protect bad police officers, now look at all y'all the same. Because it's that same thing. They say you're guilty by association, right? So you're not selling drugs. You haven't robbed nobody. You're not trying to beat people up or bully nobody. But you're hanging on the corner with those guys because you think they cool. Your mama, your grandma, your daddy, your uncle, your auntie, they'll tell you hanging out with them fools, they're going to think you're doing the same thing. Why do y'all not apply this concept to the same thing? Because it fucking fits perfectly. Because it's the same fucking narrative. So, anybody that agree, cool. If you don't, cool. But this is how I feel. And this is what I think we need to do. We need to police our own fucking communities. And I've said this multiple times. If somebody breaks into somebody's house, somebody robs somebody, somebody do something, it's not, and so for it to happen, y'all need to let go of that, the whole snitching thing. Because people, it's kids, the group home I work in, this is something I used to talk about on my behavioral health thing. The group home that I work in, these kids be calling each other snitches about the dumbest shit. And I had to break it down to them. I'm like, do you know what a snitch really is? And they fucking don't. They don't. Because they're saying some shit because they think it sounds cool or they're trying to some kind of way make somebody feel bad. And it's like, bro, you're doing some shit that's not right. Or I don't want you to fucking bother me or annoy me or make me have to go off and do some shit. or get in trouble because they're trying to get back home. They stay in a group home. They're trying to get home to their family. So they're like, what you're doing is going to make me beat your ass pretty much. I don't want to beat your ass, so stop. You don't stop. I'm going to tell the staff who is here to be the mediator so that neither of us get in trouble. And then this other kid is like, man, you a snitch. The fuck? Shut up. And I had to tell him, like, shut up. Stop saying that. Y'all don't know what snitches are. So, I go off on tangents. That one threw me off. But back to the whole point. We need to police our own communities. Oh, that's why. So we need to let go of that stop snitching shit. If somebody kill your grandma in the neighborhood, you're going to want to know who the fuck did it. Somebody kill your daughter, kill your son, kill your mommy, that you're going to want to know who did it. And once you know who did it, you either going to want to kill them yourself, or you're going to want the police to come and get them and take them away from the neighborhood. But because it's not at your front door, our selfishness and our separation that has been put into our communities by racism and by white people that don't want to see us come together and fucking win, it's beating you. Because you're like, well, I don't want, I know it's not happening in my house, so I don't want to, I'm not gonna really worry about it. I'm not gonna get involved. Get fucking involved. As parents, y'all need to get involved. The little boy down the street stole something to beat somebody up or did something, your son tell you about it. You need to talk to their parents about it because they need to get their son in line. Because what's going to happen, your son or your daughter's going to be hanging out with that person, and they're all going to get in fucking trouble, get put in jail, or get fucking murdered. And then you're going to be crying on the news, he was a good kid, she was so good. We all have seen this. If you're really from the neighborhood or any kind of hood, you really have seen this and you know. Those people be on the news crying, the grandmas and the moms and the dads and shit, they be crying, and them is real fucking tears and real emotions. He was such a good boy. Ooh. But then, if you out there, and we really know, they was doing some shit that, I mean, it's sad they going, but you like, yeah, I mean, but they was really trying to live that life, or really living that life, so that's what comes with it. We need to, all this shit starts at home, and it starts in the black community, and we need to change this whole narrative, and change the way that we're viewed, but we gotta demand our fucking respects. I'm seriously, I can speak on my Martin shit, but I'm definitely on my Malcolm shit, by any fucking means necessary. I'm on my Huey P shit. We need to really rock with each other and have each other's back, and if you don't, that's cool, but just know, you cannot be a part of nothing that I'm doing, because you're not down for us to really ride. Now, am I saying that if just because somebody is scared to die and get killed by the police if they pull a gun out, no, I'm not saying that you can't be down, because you can go and do something else that will help the cause, because it's not just one thing that's going to change everything, but you need to go and find a position and play your position. Your position is not a soldier on the front line walking around with a gun to protect the neighborhood. That's not your position, and that's perfectly fucking fine. That's perfectly fine, because there's multiple ways to do it. But don't be on that the same old bullshit narrative that we like to fucking play or just fall victim to, fall comfortable to, because it's inconvenient for us to step up and say something or fucking do something to protect us as a whole. Because otherwise, we're going to be talking about this same cycle in fucking, I was going to go years, but I'm going to say in months. In 3 months, we're going to talk about this same cycle. In 6 months. And let's just go further. In 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, we're going to be talking about the same fucking thing. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm not going to be talking about the same thing, because I see this shit. That's one option and one thing, one action that needs to be taken to change and curb this shit. So we need to police our own communities, which I've broken down multiple times. We can police ourselves. See somebody robbing the store, you go ahead, go hard to the neighborhood watch this. Neighborhood watch would be a serious thing, not some bullshit white person walking around on some bullshit giving out tickets because grass is 3 inches when it should be 2 fucking inches, or whatever the fuck these homeowners associations is doing. Apprehend a person, call the police, this is where they at. We're going to go with you to transport them to the station to make sure they get there safe because of fucking Freddie Gray. Do y'all just hashtag this shit and post this shit and then forget about this shit? These are fucking life lessons that we should be learning from. So we're going to go with you to the station with this person because of Freddie Gray. We have a community lawyer, or they're going to get their court-appointed lawyer, or whatever the case, so they have a lawyer on retainer, and then we're going to transport them from the station back to their house or back to wherever they live or whatever. We're going to be involved in the process. Yeah, otherwise, you leave it up to the terrorists that are coming into these neighborhoods with these bad seeds, bad cops, then you just fucking complaining, and it's nothing that can be done, and nothing that will be done. Nothing that can be done, nothing will be done. And then it's the same cycle, the same conversation. And I have a conversation so many times, and I get tired of having that shit, because then it's time to move and do some shit. So on this, I'm done with that conversation, that back and forth, because we're obviously at different places. You don't get it. Your mission and your goal is different. Yours is just to stay out of the way, stay safe, don't bother the police, don't piss off the policeman, until it's you, your daughter, your son, your mom, your brother, your sister, somebody, and they're in a situation, and you're like, now it's at your front door and see your faces. Sometimes it takes that for people. I get it. Sometimes it takes that for people. Like, I get it, but it is. I know it doesn't have to take that. Now, for some people, I get it. It takes it, until it hits you, until your car break down. You don't give a shit about people talking about car problems or none of that stuff. You like, I'm able to get to work. I'm able to get home. I don't really care. But then when you have a situation, you like, damn, what them carpools look like? What's that Lyft app? What's that Uber app? How does that stuff work? How does, damn, I do need to learn to work on it matters at that point. So I get it. We're human beings. We do this until it's really affecting us. We're like, all right, but I gotta chase this bag. Motherfucker. I gotta get this bag. I get it. But something shouldn't take that. And this, we've seen enough of this. Whether you've seen it personally in your life, in your neighborhood, whether your grandpa will tell you about it, your mom and dad will tell you about it, or whether you're seeing it just on the internet. Because honestly, and I know this from people's responses and their reactions, a lot of people have never experienced loss at a significant level close to them. So they're only seeing stuff on the internet. So for the moment, it's tough, and they're like, damn, it's crazy. See, I can't believe this is happening. We need to do something. But then they're like, all right, so we're gonna have to, can't happy hour ain't the focus right now. So now they're like, what Netflix show is on? They move right on because it's not personal. So maybe I'm more passionate about this because I've lost people personally, and then had people in situations with the police to where it was like they should walk away from that situation better than what they did. Or because Oscar Grant situation was so fucking big to me, and that was a big lesson, learning that some things that matter to you don't matter to other people, because people will say Trayvon Martin's name as if that was the first person that you heard a call, you heard a situation described, and then the person got off. But we saw in Oakland, in the Bay Area, we saw Oscar Grant get fucking murdered by Johannes Measure. We watched that. I was living back home. We watched that. I was about to go to San Francisco that night, and we decided, fuck it, we'll just stay in the town. But we watched the video the next morning on YouTube from that girl that posted it of the police officer shooting this man at the bar, and we was like, what the fuck? But we was like, well, we got it on video this time, so we got their ass. And a year later, they was like, we don't give a fuck about y'all niggas. Yeah, y'all got it on camera, and he's still gonna fucking walk away. And we tore some shit up. Maybe it's different because I come from a place of action. Maybe it's that, but this shit, Philando Castile, like, are y'all forgetting? Is it just in the moment that you see it, like, damn, that shit's tough. Fuck, then we need to do something. Then time goes, a couple days, couple weeks go by, and you like, well, it's nothing to me because it's not affecting you. I'm a Pisces. I'm passionate. My mom said I'm emotional. I feel the energy of the world and the people around me. That shit is affecting me. This shit has been affecting me. People ask me why I'm going off on these rants sometimes on Twitter, having these moments when, it could be a perfectly fucking sunny day, and then I'm like, nah, fuck that. This is wrong, rule, because this shit is affecting me. It's affecting me, and I have to speak about it. If I don't, it'll be a problem. So that's that, bro. So if you're not down with that, that's cool. And that, like I said, that's not the only solution. There's multiple ways to do this to police the police. But I definitely believe that if people that legally can possess firearms possess firearms, police your neighborhood, and police the police. And when they come in and they're being over aggressive and about to murder somebody in front of you, if you simply pull out your firearm and let them know on some real Black Panther shit. Watch some movies, read some books, do some research if you need to, and decide if that's you or not. A lot of people it ain't. But like, listen, you're not going to kill this citizen for nothing just to try to flex and put fear into our community. Because if he dies, you die. They're going to be like, you know what? I don't want to die. Maybe I am doing too much. Let me go ahead and just get this person because the law is doing its job. We win. The law wins. We arrested this person for doing wrong. They're going to court. They're going to pay some fines, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully, they get into a rehab program, turn their life around. But if not, we're going to arrest their ass again and then keep through this process and have to pay us and keep all this shit going. That's why it's police officers, probation officers, judges, lawyers, because crime is going to keep going. They'll keep arresting you. Whether you like, man, they wrote me up for these tickets and now I got to go to court and pay these fines. Or you got pulled over for speeding, they're going too fast, and it's only going six miles over. They got to get this shit going. The process has to keep going because they got to fund all these buildings and shit, and these nice roads that these judges wear, and the fucking benches that's built and all this shit. They got to pay for this shit. Taxes ain't the only thing doing it. So they have a process, but for these situations, there should be more people going home or going to court and see that they're in court than it is that's being buried behind that shit. Plain and simple. You can't tell me no different. You can't convince me no different. Don't even try to. Okay? So, if you don't want to police your community, then that's perfectly fine. There's another way for you to help out and do it. But don't try to... Well, no, I can't even say that because you're going to say that because you don't see the perspective of why policing the police matters. So, you don't get it, it's cool. Or if you only halfway get it, that's cool. But don't knock somebody that's trying. We need to be policing our communities and we need to police the police. Plain and simply, I think that will definitely work. I'm not saying shoot police, I'm not saying aim a gun at the police, none of that. I'm saying let them know that if they murder, just imagine if it's your son or your daughter, you kill my son in front of me, you're gonna want to kill them. But if it's like, listen, that's my brother, that's my neighbor, you can't do that because that's going to psychologically affect your whole fucking neighborhood and you're not seeing how that is going to do that. So you gotta change your perspective and really open your eyes a little wider. Everybody talking about their third eye is open now. It's trendy to be, you know, seeing deeper vision and all that. So try that or something. But y'all gotta really see this for what it is, bro. They're trying to operate and control everything with fear. I'm not gonna allow it because I'm not scared. Plain and simple. But I saw that police officers were fired, but then somebody's like, that happened way too fast, so the union is going to like try to refute it. It's like, fucking why? But that's showing you, they're like, no, they shouldn't be fired for that. It wasn't that serious of an offense. The fuck? So, listen, man. I'm just saying. Sometimes I make too much sense. Sometimes make too much sense. It's okay if you don't get it. If you don't agree even, that's okay. But don't think that I'ma just let it go and not. So I'm looking at the comments on my other phone. Don't think that I'ma just let it go and I'm going to just allow shit like that to happen. I'm telling you, like anybody that I'm cool with, you don't have to have that fear of if I'm with you and the police are hemming you up for no reason, I'm gonna just sit back and do nothing and just videotape it. The video definitely is helpful, but just to sit there and do nothing, and then when you dead, to have this traumatic, maybe this is it for me. I'm fucking tired of having to go through traumatic events and having to live with this shit. Everybody got a story. Everybody's life is different. Everybody had a situation. My niggas, I done seen a lot. I done been through a lot. I done lived through a lot. I'm tired of that shit. I got enough shit on my brain that I can just turn on the damn oven. I got enough shit on my brain and enough experience in my life and enough memories of shit, to where I can have a nice bill in therapy. I find other therapeutic ways. To deal with the shit. But eventually, I'm going to make my way into a therapist's office, who will be black, by the way, and go ahead and talk about some of these things. And it might be before I finish writing my book, or maybe after I write this book. I'm pretty sure it's going to be before I shoot the movie, but it's probably going to be after I write my book, after I finish my book, or one of my books. But I have enough shit, so maybe that's it. Maybe I've been through enough and had enough experiences to where I'm tired. I'm fucking tired of this shit, bro. Like, I'm tired. So maybe that's it. Cause I used to say this to people, but I thought that narrative had changed. But maybe y'all just some of y'all haven't been through enough, so you're not tired of this shit happening because you just seen it on the internet, and you're like, it's it's at a distance. So you're like, it's not at my front door, so you can't be tired of something that you're not really experiencing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I had a trainer at one point. Where was I working at? Somewhere. And he was talking about, it was some kind of thing he was talking about, he was relating it to the training. He was talking about sometimes you just get tired of, things in life no matter what it is. And he was like, he was being broke in New York, and his mom would feed them corned beef hash and eggs. At one point that was like all they could afford or something like that. He was like, he got so tired of it eating it as a kid that now as an adult, if his wife was to make corned beef and hash, he's like that would turn into an argument because of the trauma from a kid of having to eat it so much, and it reminding him of how broke they was. And it was like that's the only option that they had, and it would make him think of like nobody would help them. They couldn't get assistance or something at the time. Like it reminds him of a traumatic experience, to where if he was to experience it now or see it even, he would physically get sick and get upset. So with that kind of in mind, maybe y'all just haven't experienced enough, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful life, and a life that I am envious of. That I've experienced so much bad stuff with police officers and people in authoritative situations personally, and it's seen so much so close to me that I'm fucking tired of this shit. So when y'all get tired, then y'all will get it. See, this is why I talk stuff out. This is why I write stuff out. This is why I talk stuff out. When y'all, that makes sense now. It makes more sense. When y'all get tired, y'all will get it. So now I can be at peace, because it pisses me off sometimes when people comment certain ways. And I'm like, how the fuck do they not get it? Like, the fuck, y'all ain't been through enough? And it's like, it just literally, your black experience has been different than mine's. So you're like, I'm not tired yet, because I haven't had to deal with that. I haven't had that happen close to me. I haven't had to go to that many fucking funerals. I haven't had to deal with that. So you upset, but you shouldn't be that upset. It ain't that serious. And it's like, no, my nigga, it's that serious, and I should be this upset, and you should be this upset too. But I have to understand, you haven't had these experiences or had enough of them yet to where you're tired too. So when you get tired, y'all holler at me, and you're gonna be like, Johnny, you know what? You was right. So, I'm about to get back to cooking. I'm about to bake some salmon. I'm about to do this Cajun. Ooh. So this is what I made that last time, y'all. So I did the Cajun choice, the Cajun shrimp seasoning. Put this on the salmon with a little oil, little butter, little butter, little salt, little pepper. Because that's a lot of seasoning in there, so you don't need to do that much. But put that in there, cover it, bake that, and then I'm gonna put that on the chicken. Try something different. And I'm about to do this rice pilaf with some quinoa, something else. Oh, and some broccoli cuts. Something simple for dinner, because I'm trying to change this diet up. Since I've been being more active, I just gotta make sure I keep the food right. Because I'm trying to drop 50 pounds And then I think I'm gonna try to do like another 10, but we gonna see. But that's my journey over the next 2-3 months. We'll see how everything works, as long as I don't have too many lazy days to keep myself going. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on that, and that's how I feel, so that you can hear me say it, so that there's no mix up in the words that I'm writing, because maybe it's like you're just not gonna get it when I'm writing it out. So it's like, let me just say it so I can clearly get it off my chest and get it out. Why did I wash these out? Ooh, I might do this. I might pan-sear the salmon now. But yeah, I just say it so that you can hear it, so I can hear it as well and work it out. And I did come to a conclusion. A lot of y'all don't get it and gonna react different, respectfully, because you're not tired yet. Your experiences have been different. You haven't experienced enough. And that makes sense just for life lessons as we talk to kids too. Kids say these things, teens say these things, you just ain't lived enough. Once you live enough and experience enough, you'll get what I'm saying. But right now, I sound like the corny old person to you. And I get it. And I remember when I was a teenager, old to me was 25. I remember my sister turned 25. I was like, you hella old. Like, but then also it was that concept of a lot of people in the area where I was growing up, you didn't make it to 25. Like, making it to 18 was tough in Oakland. Like, you feel me? When somebody makes it to 25, you a young OG. I remember the first time somebody called me OG, I was 24, 25. Like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm only 24, 25. But to them, you know, I had made it because I had lived past 24, 25. Like, sad. It's so much shit that gotta change, bruh. But yeah, so let me get back to cooking. Y'all have an amazing night. Y'all know what I say, man. CIE, head confidence is everything. Everything Jones on YouTube. I got more videos coming for y'all. I just took a break because I've been shooting a little bit more and editing more, but I'm working on new shit. iPhone Jones, hit me up if you're trying to shoot something, photo shoot, video. Let's talk prices. What else? Check out my drone videos. I'm about to start posting those. Everything Jones on Instagram. Eye of Jones. I'm actually about to start posting stuff on my Eye of Jones thing, so y'all can see the photos and videos that I take all in one collection versus seeing them in a spurt here or there. But yeah, we're gonna keep talking about this stuff and keep workshopping this. Let's Do Lunch is coming back, and I'm definitely gonna have to have this conversation. And I gotta bring the show back because there's so much shit happening. We gotta get this back quick and get things going. Check me out on Support District Radio, My Radio Phoenix. This will be my fourth season, basically, doing my show. So I can't wait. Podcast will be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Anchor as well. So I've been doing this, man. Shout out to everybody that's doing it. Speaking their mind, using their voice, giving their opinions. It's all needed. Let's support each other. Let's rock with each other. You know I got your back. If you got my back, fuck with you. If you don't got my back, fuck you. That's just how I am, man. It is what it is. Love those that love me. Appreciate those that appreciate me. And that's just how it is. Y'all know I give it to you straight up and down because there's no other way around. I'm out because I got to cook this food and then figure out what the rest of my night going to look like. I'll holler at y'all on Instagram story or something like that. Y'all have a good one. Peace.